The year 2024 is fast approaching, and with it comes a wave of uncertainty that threatens to shake the very foundations of our nation. Economic instability, political strife, and environmental disasters are converging in ways we've never seen before. As we stand on the brink of unprecedented change, certain states are facing the harsh reality of potential collapse. Join us as we delve into the gripping and eye-opening stories of the 10 states most at risk. What will their future hold? How will their downfall impact the rest of us? Prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of impending chaos and discover which states might not survive 2024. Number 10. Alaska. Alaska faces multiple challenges threatening its stability. The state heavily relies on external supplies for essentials like food and fuel, making it vulnerable to supply chain disruptions. The collapse of the crab fishing industry due to climate-induced marine heat waves has caused an economic loss of $300 million, impacting local economies dependent on seafood production. Housing shortages and high costs make home ownership unattainable for many, exacerbating social inequalities and hampering worker retention. Financially, Alaska struggles with budget deficits, nearing $1.6 billion in 2021 due to declining oil revenues. This fiscal instability calls for sustainable economic strategies. Additionally, the state experienced a population decline of 24,000 residents between 2016 and 2020, reducing its tax base and economic activity. Political instability, particularly over fiscal policies like the Alaska Permanent Fund dividend, complicates long-term planning and governance. Number 9. California. California faces significant risks from natural disasters and economic instability. Earthquakes and floods, exacerbated by its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, threaten critical infrastructure like the Whittier Narrows Dam. Financial instability looms with recent banking sector issues, such as the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Environmental degradation, including prolonged droughts and frequent wildfires, poses persistent threats. The high cost of living, especially in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, leads to housing insecurity and homelessness, disproportionately affecting minorities. High taxes drive businesses and residents to states with lower tax burdens, impacting California's revenue base. Water shortages and overuse of groundwater threaten agricultural productivity. Rising temperatures increase wildfire frequency, straining emergency response efforts. These interconnected issues require comprehensive strategies to mitigate risks and ensure California's resilience. Number 8. New York. New York City faces a range of challenges threatening its resilience. The city's reliance on external food supplies risks food shortages during crises. High crime rates strain law enforcement, potentially escalating during emergencies. Economic instability, highlighted by recent bank bankruptcies like Republic First Bank, affects residents and businesses. Housing costs are among the highest in the nation, with median home prices exceeding $400,000 and high rental costs. These factors contribute to housing insecurity and socioeconomic disparities. New York's high tax burden, including substantial income and property taxes, drives out migration, with many residents seeking more affordable living conditions elsewhere. These challenges highlight the need for effective policies to ensure New York's stability and growth, addressing economic vulnerabilities, housing affordability, and public safety concerns. Number 7. West Virginia. West Virginia grapples with complex challenges impacting its residents and economy. The opioid crisis costs the state nearly $9.9 billion annually in healthcare, criminal justice, and lost productivity. High rates of opioid addiction worsen health indicators, including obesity and heart disease, straining the healthcare system. Frequent flooding, with over 1,600 floods between 2010 and 2021, causes property damage and loss of life. Inadequate infrastructure exacerbates flood impacts and recovery efforts. The decline of the coal industry has weakened the economy, leading to high unemployment and poverty. Educational attainment lags behind the national average, limiting economic opportunities. Addressing these issues requires comprehensive strategies encompassing public health, infrastructure, economic diversification, and educational reforms to foster long-term resilience and prosperity. Number 6. New Mexico. New Mexico faces significant socio-economic challenges. Severe poverty, with an 18% poverty rate, underscores widespread financial hardship. High unemployment rates further exacerbate economic pressures. Educational outcomes rank among the lowest in the nation, hindering future economic growth. Water scarcity, driven by prolonged droughts, strains agricultural production and municipal water supplies. Infrastructure deficiencies, including aging roads and bridges, require urgent investment. High crime rates, particularly violent crime, strain communities and law enforcement. These challenges necessitate comprehensive strategies to address poverty, improve education, manage water resources, and enhance infrastructure to support economic growth and community resilience. Number 5. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico confronts severe economic challenges. High unemployment rates and limited job opportunities contribute to widespread poverty and instability. Frequent natural disasters, such as hurricanes and earthquakes, cause extensive damage to infrastructure and hinder economic growth. Healthcare funding issues, with lower Medicaid and Medicare reimbursement rates, strain the system and limit access to services. Educational challenges, including school closures, impact youth opportunities. Corruption and inefficient management further complicate governance and recovery efforts. Addressing these issues requires robust disaster preparedness, investment in healthcare and education, and transparent governance to support sustainable development and resilience. Number 4. Louisiana. Louisiana faces environmental, economic, and social challenges. Hurricanes and coastal erosion, intensified by climate change, threaten communities and infrastructure. Severe pollution in areas like Cancer Alley impacts health, contributing to chronic illnesses. A housing insurance crisis, with soaring premiums, leaves homeowners vulnerable to natural disasters. Economic inequality persists, with high poverty rates affecting minority and low-income communities. Educational attainment levels are below national averages, with significant achievement gaps. Addressing these issues requires strategies for environmental resilience, equitable economic development, and improved education to strengthen Louisiana's future. Number 3. Illinois. Illinois faces a severe financial crisis with a debt-to-GDP ratio of 122%. High property and income taxes create a burdensome environment for businesses and residents. Population decline, with over 100,000 residents leaving in recent years, reduces tax revenues and strains public services. The state grapples with an opioid epidemic, overwhelming healthcare systems and public resources. Governance issues, including budget impasses and fiscal mismanagement, undermine confidence. Underfunded social services and infrastructure further strain public services. Frequent severe storms highlight the need for disaster preparedness. Addressing these challenges requires strategic reforms and fiscal discipline to foster economic growth and resilience. Number 2. New Jersey. New Jersey faces economic, social, and public health challenges. High unfunded debt limits funding for essential services. High taxes, including property and sales taxes, burden residents. The high cost of living, particularly housing, exacerbates financial pressures. Healthcare challenges include poor maternal mortality rates and disparities in access to care. Natural disaster risks, such as hurricanes and flooding, threaten coastal communities. An opioid epidemic strains public health and resources. Addressing these issues requires proactive policies, investments in infrastructure, and collaborative efforts to improve economic resilience and quality of life. Number 1. Mississippi. Mississippi faces significant economic, healthcare, education, and infrastructure challenges. High poverty rates and low median incomes highlight financial hardship. The healthcare system struggles with the highest infant mortality rate in the nation and limited access to services. Educational outcomes are among the lowest, hindering workforce readiness. Natural disasters, including hurricanes and floods, pose significant threats. Infrastructure vulnerabilities, such as aging roads and bridges, amplify risks. Racial and economic disparities impact minority communities disproportionately. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive strategies for economic development, healthcare improvement, educational reform, and infrastructure resilience to support Mississippi's growth and development.